Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to examine about two articles. And the first one here is out of the Washington Post. And if you see the date on there, that is on the 19th of September that this was posted. And you see what the headline is about black people going over or possibly thinking about going over to vote for Trump. But why did that even happen? Let's go back to an article back from August out of Reuters. And we're going to really examine that one and why a lot of people are starting to really get so burnt out with the Democrats, especially in the black community, for sure black men, because I said before, black men have never been prioritized in the Democrat Party at all unless you're just a shill and you're trying to get close to the Democrats because whatever the case may be. Bottom McConan, he's a 28-year-old in the key voting state of Georgia. Now, he is among the millions of black voters who helped deliver President Joe Biden the White House in 2020. Now, so he's a Biden voter. And he said 3 years later, he is one of the voters who Democrats fear could cost Biden a second term. They say he's disappointed by what he sees as Democrats lurch to the left, free spending and empty promises. He said, but also turned off by the far right Republicans. He said McConan says he sees nothing but bad options at the ballot box next year. So he don't like Republicans and far right. We know what we're talking about far right. I don't like them either. I'm with him 100% on that. The far right Republicans that's going way too far to the right with the racism, white supremacy. Then you got the Democrats on the other spectrum of it. And more black people is like they are feeling alienated in the Democrat Party. But we'll continue. So they say that what I'm noticing across the Democratic Party right now is there's a lot of pandering to the black community, according to what the brother says. He said, who plans to attend business school after a career in the military. He continues to say, it seems like they do a lot to try to make it seem like they are the party for young black men or black men as a whole, but they don't back it with anything. They don't follow through, meaning they don't give any tangibles. They give lip service. The Democrats have been giving lip service to black people, definitely black men, for a long time. Think about it. They come to your church, those of you who go to church. They show up every 2 years, want to speak, want to talk to you after church, want to hug your babies. Hey, can I put my campaign sign in your front lawn? Because I remember growing up. Come on, so y'all know that. Y'all would be so supportive of Democrat. You let them put a campaign sign in your front yard. Free advertising. I would never let a political anybody put their flyer or their thing in my front lawn unless one, I support you, and two, you got to break me off a bag. I'm not doing that at all. Hell, I don't even wear other people's logos or brands I do have. I don't even like to wear that too much on here because to me, that's free advertising. They should be paying me something at this point. I mean, I do have a platform enough where I can promote something where they can at least support the show. So they don't. So this young brother is saying is the Democrats don't give no tangibles to black people. And we all know this from the young and even to the older ones. But the older ones, they just don't care. They like, look, as long as I get my Social Security checks, I'm not out there trying to fight nothing. I'm just trying to die in peace. Let's say along the most loyal Democratic constituency, black voters played a large role in rescuing Biden's struggling 2020 presidential campaign in the South Carolina primary and sending him to the White House with Democrats in control of the Senate, as it thanks to further success in Georgia. But say in return, many black voters expected Biden and Democrats to push new federal protections against restrictive local voting laws, police and criminal justice reform, student loan debt, and economic empowerment. They say many of those efforts have been blocked by Republicans, having Biden to ask voters to let him finish the job with a second term, but with no clear path to get these things done. They say, on the other hand, Democrats' focus on LGBTQ and abortion rights leaves voters like McConan feeling alienated. And the one thing they did not add is immigration as well. We are alienated definitely in the Democrat Party. If you're not LGBT, if you're not an immigrant, if you're not in Ukraine, if you're not talking about abortion and all. Listen, the average black person don't even think about those issues. The average black person is trying to get up, go to work, pay their bills, take care of their family, try to live a decent life. That's what the average black person is doing. And the Democrats always coming in our face saying to vote for them. The Democrats are even downright rude, especially to black men. Remember, Tiffany Cross has said to black men, get behind the women. Listen to what the black women tell you to do. They always sending someone to disrespect black men. When you think for yourself as a black man, what do they tell you? You getting misinformation. That's why you're thinking for yourself. You understand? If you say, I don't want to really vote for y'all because y'all not giving me nothing. Oh, well, who you listening to? Because they're just trying to suppress the vote. No. See, they view black men as dumb. And that's an old racial trope that black men are ignorant. Black men are stupid. That's why you got to tell them what to do. They just big black brutes. They can't think for themselves. That's how the Democrats treat black men. That's why I say racism come in many forms. The easiest form to see it is just a anti-black slur. That's easy to see. Just saying certain names. That's easy to see. But when they treating you the way those who use anti-black slurs think about us without saying those words, sometimes y'all don't get it. When they use entertainers to come tell you about politics and who you should vote for, entertainers, they think you're dumb. They think that you're going to listen to freaking Cardi B about politics. She don't know nothing about politics. She knows nothing. And a little bit she do know, she heard it from us and all of us who's talking about it. They come out here using Simone Sanders and anybody else that they can use. Obama, they don't use him because his name is Mud and he got his own name Mud like that. We didn't do it. He chose to do it. They think that we're dumb, ignorant, and we're tired of that. We're tired. We should not be treated. We want to be treated like every other man that the Democrats talk to with respect. We're coming with what I'm going to do for you. But see, where the Democrats are at right now, they have to do for us before the election. They can't say, get us in there. And then nope. Because when Biden got in office, black folks gave them the House. Black folks gave them the Senate. And Obama was even worse. Obama had the 60 senators, so he couldn't even filibuster anything, and the House. Obama could have did way more, I'm going to say, than even Biden could have, because nobody could even interjected anything. Then if you add him with the vice president at the time, he was the 61st vote. So even if all Republicans in the first 2 years wanted to go against something Obama wanted to do, the Republicans couldn't even block it. That's what we should be upset about also. Barack Obama could have solved the majority of our problems very, very easily. If the Democrats were really on our side, they could have did this in the first 2 years and nobody was standing in their way. How many times have they Boule Martin screaming at you, well, y'all got to get 60 people in the Senate? The first 2 years of Obama, he had that. And he did nothing for black people. Not a freaking thing. Obama could have did the anti-black hate crime bill. Obama could have did reparations. He could have did it all in the first 2 years. But the Democrats don't support reparations either. As a whole, they don't. So you can't even talk about Republicans. Your friends are Democrats you vote for don't support reparations because they have the same racist views as the Republicans do. That's why they're not different. They're the same. They both want to maintain white supremacy, and they both don't want to see black people made whole. Just one is a little bit more outward saying that, and the other one is on the low with it, but they feel the exact same way. And y'all have to understand that. The Democrats have never been our friends. So once again, I'm going to say this again. Obama and the Democrats, when he first got in office, could have solved a lot of these issues and problems that we shouldn't even be talking about right now. So let's continue. So he says that I'm probably getting turned away from the left. He said, just because the Democrats are turning more left in my books, he said, adding that he wished Democrats spent more time on the economy. Now, this is a young man that's saying this. He said they're going way too far to the left. Remember the video that we shown here on this podcast of AOC and the Democrats and how they was, even though people were screaming and yelling about what's happening in New York without bringing all the people in, they still pushing illegal immigration. Even though they're being shouted down, they don't care about their constituents at all. If they actually care about the people, they will be saying, you know what? We need to get this thing in control. We are full. We're not taking no more. They can go other places. Now, I say polls and Reuters interviews show younger black voters and black men of all ages are losing faith in Democrats. It said Biden and perhaps even the political process. Because, a lot of people are saying in the community that they just don't want to deal with none of them. They say just 3 years after the U.S. biggest protest for racial justice and civil rights in a generation. And what ended up happening, Biden lulled all y'all to sleep. That's what they really wanted. Because, see, they know if you get a Democrat, you're going to go yourself right to sleep. And that's what we all knew. And I knew that was coming with y'all. Let Biden get in there and y'all not going to fight for justice no more. Y'all not going to stay on these people's head. Y'all going to say, I got a Democrat. I'm good now. And then now you're back to square one and even worse than square one. Now, I say the vast majority of black voters, including men, are still expected to choose Biden over Republican. Expecting and doing is two different things. They say, but the question for Democrats is whether disillusioned black voters will turn out to the polls in large enough numbers in crucial cities from Philadelphia to Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta is one city. Atlanta is not all of Georgia. Fulton County is not all of Georgia. And most of the big cities are Democrat anyway. Like Houston. Houston is a Democrat city. Austin, Democrat. Here in Texas. Dallas, Democrat. But the rest of the state, strong Republican. Every major city is mostly Democrat. So from Milwaukee to Detroit, they worried about trying to keep Biden in the White House. Now, they said Democrats, need to understand that there is a growing population, especially with black men, who are reaching the point of being fed up with always being pushed over and looked over. Now, this said Leanne Evans. She's 33 years old. She's a political campaign manager who is running as a write-in candidate for Nashville City Council. Black men have been pushed over for a long time with the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party don't care about us as black men. They never prioritize us. Remember, it's the Democrat Party that ushered in mass incarceration, and who got locked up the most? Black men. They incentivized states to build prisons and keep people in 85% of the time. And they know when this was going on in the black community, the crack epidemic, it was mostly targeting black people. So this is black men. And the Democrats have not said, okay, we made a mistake with that 1994 crime bill. We got to unravel all of that and get these men out of prison. We got to wipe their records clean. We got to get these men some help so they can get back in society, get a place to stay, etc. The Democrats haven't done anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. The mass incarceration problem is a Democrat creation. And of course, all states, Republican and Democrat, went along with it because they want federal dollars. Obama didn't end mass incarceration. Biden didn't end it either. Not even talking about mass incarceration of anybody. Y'all want to talk about that? I mean, you got to give it to Trump. At least he did the First Step Act. I'll give him that. A lot of black people came home because of that. What Biden has done. Y'all want him to do criminal justice reform and all of that. What has he done? He hasn't done anything. Then they was negotiating on the George Floyd bill with Senator Tim Scott. And because they couldn't get everything they wanted, or they didn't want to hash it out, they just they threw up their hands and said, I'm not doing it no more. And Tim Scott at the time, with our research, was like, well, why are you walking away from the table? Are we just fighting about this one issue? Because the one issue is qualified immunity. Okay, you keep fighting. And if Tim Scott is not doing what he's supposed to do, then you bring it to the public, bring it to the people, and let the people put pressure on Tim Scott if that's truly what was the deal. You don't throw your hands up and say, I'm not doing it. I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? They betrayed the voters right then and there, and they walked away from the table. The Democrats haven't done a freaking thing to correct any errors that they have done to black people. Now, they say Democrats' failure to secure widespread student loan relief or legalize marijuana has been disappointing, Evans said, adding that Republicans' more aggressive approach when they have power means they are actually getting things done. Now, the legalization of, you say, marijuana, student loan relief, I'm a little different about the student loan relief because this is how I look at that. You chose to take that loan. Why should your loans be canceled? I'm just saying, I take a loan. I don't expect none of you to pay my bills. I chose that. Now, if what could they do to help the people is in predatory interest rates. Because I've seen that some of them student loans they giving has a 16%, 20% interest rate on a loan. This is why people can't afford to pay it back. I mean, think about that. For every dollar that you got, they're adding 16 cents to it. So if you got thousands of dollars that you owe, you paying your payments, but all you paying is interest. You're never really paying that at all. They need to get that down. Student loans, in my opinion, should be a 0% interest loan backed by the federal government. Why should these people be making money off of other people? These banks are not in it to be helping nobody. Now, that would help the people. Make all the interest be zero and let them pay exactly what they owe. Remove all the interest off of it. The federal government need to put it to zero, pay all the interest off, and then say, okay, you paying your true loan now. That's what you're paying. We paid off your interest. It's 0%. Just pay your loan. And I think that would be fair to a point. But just to say wipe it clean and you just go on by, no. Or you make school free. And that way we don't got to have this conversation. Make college free for everybody. But in this country, white people don't want black people to get nothing for free. They don't want free health care because black people going to get it. They don't want free school. And at one point in time, they used to have free college. But when black people started getting college, it started with Ronald Reagan in California, that they started putting tuition for college. But prior to black people going to the colleges for white people at the PWIs, it was free. So if you did it before, you can do it now. You can justify, you can say, hey, I'm going to raise taxes so everybody can go to school for free. I'm willing to pay more taxes if everybody can have free health care, if everybody can go to school for free. I'm willing to pay more taxes because of that, because, hey, I'm going to benefit from it. My children's going to benefit from it. Everybody's going to benefit from it. So I'm cool with that. But these people in this country believe education isn't a right. Healthcare isn't a right. Food isn't even a right in the minds of these people. We live around some sick people, man. Now, a Julian Silas, he's 25 years old, another young brother. They say he's a black investment research analyst from the Chicago area. Said many of his friends and family are reexamining their politics and question just how much loyalty of black Americans to the Democrats Party bettered their lives, particularly their economic standing. They say every 4 years, Democratic candidates talk about increasing black wealth and closing the gap between black and white Americans. They say, but nothing really happens. He said, it seems like there's things that they talk about that seem good that I can align with, like student loan debt relief and home ownership and all these different things. He said, but maybe sometimes it doesn't feel like it's moving fast enough because they don't prioritize black people. That's just lip service. I judge you off of what you do. You show and prove. You don't just tell me anything. Once you consciously show and prove to me, then I can start believing your word. That's the way that works. You build trust. But the Democrats is giving black people their word and then don't do nothing. And then when black people say something, they give their butt to kiss. That's exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot of black men, and listen, the reason why black men have become fed up is because we have never benefited off the Democrat Party. See, at least the women in the community will benefit a lot more for the Democrat Party because they don't have they have no problem giving them programs, and if they have children, giving them something. If they have housing, they don't give black men anything. They get the women some food stamps. If they need it, they have no problem moving women up in corporate America. We are the threat in corporate America as black men. They do not want to see us in any kind of position at all. We always are treated bad in corporate America. We got to that's why I could not work for them, because I'm not about to cower down who I am, not say anything, worrying about if Karen having a bad day, if I'm gonna lose my job because she lying on me, or I look aggressive, or yeah. Trust me, I love my job right now. My job is what I do. I don't have to deal with Karen. I don't have to ask nobody to punch in or out. I don't have to ask for vacation. I don't have to do anything. I go to the gym in the morning, do what I do. It's great. And that's why I would like all black people to have, and not even be dealing with Karen. See, Karen's not even an issue for me on the job. I don't have to tap dance for none of them. I don't have to worry about the way I wear my hair or anything like that. I don't have to worry about that, because I'm not dealing with them. And the same thing with the Democrats. I'm not dealing with them either, because I am very angry with the Democrat Party, because their lies have just, it's enough. It's enough of watching them do for everybody else and don't do nothing for black people. So until they do something for black people, I'm going to be on them like flies on poop. Straight up. I'm going to be on them. I'm not letting off of them. So if you come over here, that's exactly what you're going to hear for the most part. Because our people need to keep hearing that message over and over and over and over and over and over again for them to get it. And the more people hear it, the more they start I'm chipping away just a little bit at their sensibility. They say, you know what? God, I hate what he's saying, but I can't argue with it. They don't do nothing for us. I think it's sick for them to show up to your church and don't bring a gift. What policy are they bringing to your church? Well, you got to elect me because you don't want the Republicans in there. They go, okay, well, the Republican going to do no different than you. Nothing. How you better? That's what I'm saying. How are you better? You never show how you're better. Well, they hate people, and you do too. You're worse because you smile in our face, but and you hate us. And the reason why I say you hate us is because you do nothing for us. You show it. Prime example. Some people have had issues in families because they had a child that was the favorite. And the parent did for this child can do no wrong, give this child everything, and you always not getting nothing. You sitting there watching the favorite child have everything, watching the favorite child enjoy this, enjoy that, and you're there. What usually happens in those situations? That other sibling a lot of times grow contempt for that other person they're doing for and the parent. So that's no different than with black folks. Black folks really has a lot of contempt with these other groups that's getting what we really voted for. And we having contempt with the Democrats as well. And then these other groups of people come in here arrogant and demanding they get resources that they didn't vote for. They didn't fight in a single war for America, not one. But they demand to come in here and get something. And I always tell people this: if these people that wasn't loyal to their homeland, if they didn't fight for their homeland at all, then they're not loyal to America and surely not going to fight for America. They're coming over here with their hands out. That's it. Black people are the only people outside of white people that fought in every war, that built this nation and all of those things like that. When I say build the nation, I'm talking about, of course, we built it. Yes, we built it for sure. And I'm not saying we didn't build America. We did. But, you had a few white folks working things at times too, whatever. But these other groups didn't really build things like we built it. They didn't. They came here after the civil rights movement, after the immigration bill. They wasn't trying to be here beforehand. They weren't even trying to cross. After all the work is done, then you want to come over here and with your hands out. But they only doing what they know to do because they heard that Biden's in office and they can do whatever they want to do. Now, if Trump was to get reelected, watch the shift. The people going to be like, oh, hell. You're going to see them leaving them big cities. They're going to be gone because they're like, man, Trump getting in office. I'm not dealing with this. Let me get out this major city. I can go hide a lot better in the smaller cities than these major cities in the U.S. Let me get out of New York. Let me get out of Chicago, because that's exactly where Trump going. They know that. They know who to play with. But a lot of black men, like I say, they're just tired. They're tired. They're tired of the disrespect from everybody, because everybody disrespects black men. Tired of Democrat shields disrespecting us, talking down on us, not giving us anything, not correcting the mass incarceration that the Democrats brought in, because they the one did it to the black community. They have not mass incarcerated any other group like they mass incarcerated black people. So that's something you should tell the Democrats. Hey, why don't you unravel the 1994 crime bill or pass laws to undo that? Well, if you get me in there, I can do it. No, you do it now. Do it right now. Because I can't believe you. All that was just get me in there and I'm going to do this for you. That after the 2020 election, you don't get that no more. We don't trust nothing you say. We only see what you do. And as you build a rapport with us by constant doing for us, then we could believe your word. Until then, we ain't believing crap, because you are a liar. You're a proven liar. But I'm proud of black men. I'm proud of you who men, you have woke up, you're waking up. And brothers, when you wake up, the women gonna wake up. It always gonna start with you. Don't even focus on what the women is doing and saying. Don't even focus on the disrespect some of them having. Don't worry about that. Men take the lead. Men don't ask no women no questions about what they should and should not do as men when they're taking the lead. Black men take the lead for a change. Lead your community. Get away from this Democrat Party who does nothing for us as black men. So we can actually get out here and take care of our wives, our daughters, our sons. So we can take care of our families. The Democrat Party does nothing for anyone unless you're immigrant, LGBT, fighting for abortion. Like, the average black man don't even think about those issues. You really don't. But brothers, you're doing a good job. And when you talk to other men on the job, because that's where we see other men at, and you get into this political conversation, bring that up with the brothers, and say, hey, man, if you go out there and vote, man, these Democrats ain't doing nothing for brothers, man. Not doing nothing for us at all.